Hi, I'm Craig Thomas. I'm a member here at Fairfield Methodist Church. Dean Smitty will be joining me. What we're doing here today is we're going to explain as far as the Vision Committee, the Steering Committee, how we were formed, how it began. Over a year ago, we received a blessing of $1 million. And at that time, you know, what do we do with $1 million? And the youth needed a facility where they could enjoy their recreation and have meetings and be able to entertain themselves a little bit more. And they said, hey, why don't we build a hut like we used to have in the olden days? So we took that thought and we said, well, we can easily do that with $1 million. But there's so much more we could do with it and grow the building. I think that would incorporate a lot more people, a lot more families here in the church and the community. So with that being said, we sort of worked it in reverse. There was a steering committee formed. Dean is very experienced in architect. He works in a firm in Greensboro. Dean is a member here at Fairfield. How long have you been a member, Dean?
At least 5 years.
At least 5 years. So what we did is we just sort of sat around, all of us. We had the youth committee, we had education, we had the mission chair. We had a lot of different committees and individuals that expressed what their dream, what their vision would be like. So we met once a month, maybe twice a month, and that when we would do this, Dean would actually sketch out some things that we all liked. After he did that, Dean and I visited several construction firms that are big firms and just said, hey, what would this cost, approximate figure? And they threw out numbers to us. So we would come back and report to the committee. Well, what we've done is research, homework, you know, and sort of incorporated numbers. But, you know, it's not about numbers anymore. It's about the blessing that we've received. I don't think the good Lord would just be dancing up and down for us to be blessed with $1 million and it just sitting there without us putting it to work. So what we're doing now is we're coming to the congregation. We would like to see a building team formed, a fundraising team formed, because there's been a lot of misconception. People think that we are a building team. We're not. They think we're a fundraising team. We're not. We're just some members of the church that have gathered together and are saying, what would we love to see? So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the church, we're going to walk through the church and show you areas that we can improve, that we can grow, that we can change. And if this is acceptable, as just far as the concept, and then the congregation goes, yeah, we're on board. You know, let's look at how we can build this, you know, with different ideas, different visions of the congregation. So that's only where we're at this time. Not a building team, not a fundraising team. We're just a vision team. I guess you and I probably like to sleep more than others, and we have better dreams, or dream a lot more, I should say. But anyway, that's what we're all about. We'll sort of take you on a tour of the church, where we've been, where we're at now, and where we'd like to go. When the first church that I remember when I came here was this church that I guess was built in 1922. It was a little bit before my time, but I do vaguely remember going to Sunday school in this church. And in 1963, we broke ground for our sanctuary, which is now our fellowship hall. And if you look closely, this handsome young guy right here is me. So with that being said, that's a little bit about our history. Now, we built the sanctuary, which is our fellowship hall now. And then we broke ground in 1996 and built the sanctuary that we have now. And also our classrooms that we built expanded into that area where our classrooms are on the right side of the sanctuary. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk down the hall and we're going to look at some areas that we were talking and thinking about the improvement. Now as we go, we have a preschool here. So you might see a bunch of cute little guys running around and girls running around, but that's what that will be all about. And I think, Dean, you're going to take us through and sort of talk about areas that the Vision Committee has talked about.
Sure. Well, here we are down in the preschool area, and one of the ideas that part of the dream is trying to expand or turn some of these rooms back into the nurseries for use because all the new babies that we have coming in. And part of that, we have down the hall here, we have this the food pantry, which is kind of a cluttered mess of storage and food pantry items. And we would love to expand the food pantry so we can, so the rest of the community can benefit from.
I believe what we're right now we're serving like 40 families, I believe, out of this small storage closet. And what the Vision Committee has talked about is converting this back to nothing but a storage closet and actually taking the 2 classrooms and converting it to a food pantry, which from what we just went to was our storage closet, and this would give us a great expansion here to convert this into a food pantry.
Imagine the amount of food and clothing that we could store in here just to be readily pulled out into the fellowship hall for even more families to come in and get what they need, just be able for our church to bless them. Well, some of the ideas about the current fellowship hall is to clean up some of the clutter. As you can see, we have tables and chairs spread throughout the room, and sometimes difficult to do anything nice or fancy in here when you still have some clutter just all around. So one of the ideas was to build a storage closet to be able to house the tables and chairs and some of the toys in this area so that they can easily be pulled out and put back away when necessary. All right, as you can see, this is our closet for the preschool storage, and they're obviously they need some more space too, so we're planning on moving this preschool storage into another area. And what's going to happen with this preschool storage room is this wall comes out and there'll be doors in the wall, the end wall, and this is where we're going to walk right through to access the new building out on the other side of the driveway. All right, now we're outside, standing in the driveway next to the fellowship hall, and you can see the playgrounds out here and the outdoor shelter, what the committee has kind of come up with is the new building will end up being right where the playgrounds are now, and the playgrounds will be moved. And you can see the site plan that's up there on the screen that shows we're proposing to put the new building and the playgrounds. You can see up on the screen a picture of what the committee has come up with and what the building may look like from the street as you drive by. You see we have a covered drop-off that connects the 2 buildings, so they'll be covering from the weather, walking back and forth between the 2 buildings. What you're looking at here is just a plan that the committee has come up with, and right over here is where the existing building is, and we would be where we were just a few minutes ago. We come walking through that, what's currently the preschool storage room. We'd walk through that end wall through a door under a covered walkway into the lobby here, and next to the lobby obviously we have a nice large gymnasium with a stage that can be used for multiple purposes. There's plenty of storage for that. And then inside the lobby, just off to the side, we have this large room here would be for the youth, which would be possibly be able to divide it in half. That whole room there is easily twice the size of what the youth has right now. And also part of the vision that the committee had was just to be able to pick up some more classroom space, and that's what these rooms are down this area here. And then we have another side entrance which actually faces out towards the existing ball fields. And now what's up on the screen is we have the elevations, proposed elevations that we've kind of come up with. One of the main concerns was the look of the building from Highway 62, because there was concern that the new building may take away from the existing sanctuary. And what we have here is we have the end of the 62 elevation, or north elevation as it says, is actually there. It actually complements the existing church, and with the number of trees that are on the street right now and the shelter, actually helps to block some of that view from the street. And then the top elevation is what you would see as you walked out of the existing church under the covered walkway and into the new building lobby.
I'd like to end up here saying, first of all, a special thanks to Wesley Wright for taking time from leaving school to come down here and help us. Lots of times it's better with a visual, so that's the reason the committee thought, you know, by doing it with video, it's a little bit better so you can actually see it and maybe feel it. But there'll be an opportunity to give $1, $10, $100, whatever your heart so desires. But we need everybody here involved in our vision to be your vision. So with that being said, Dean and I'd like to thank you for this time. I'd like to thank all the members of the steering committee, and thank you to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.